really expect it? That expectancy is the breeding ground of miracles, that you expect it so much that all of a sudden it produces what you're believing for. Well, you may say, but Pastor Scott, I just don't understand. That sounds a little bit too far-fetched. It sounds a little bit as naming it and claiming it and grabbing it and blabbing it as some of those traditional churches preach, that they preach against. Yeah, it's exactly right. You better start naming what you're believing for. You better start grabbing the Word of God and speaking it and watching it manifest and come to pass. You mean you really believe that, Pastor Scott? I know it to be true. I was raised in a very classical Pentecostal holiness church all my life. And I watched the power of God, even though they lived and they preached certain things that they believed and that they stood upon, that they thought was, some of the things was personal things that should have been kept personal. But one of the things that I know that I watched since I was raised in, that I seen work so many times, was I watched them saints of God that I got to be around take the Word of God, speak it, even though the situation said opposite. But I watched as the Word of God took alive, it come alive. The power of God would work in so many mighty ways that when they would speak the Word, they would speak it, I watched some of them old saints speak things 10, 15 years. Every day, every time service, I thank God in advance that for this. And what it was, this wasn't even manifesting, and it was going south instead of going north. But I watched out of the 10, 15 years for some of them saints of God, and they was consistent of speaking it and believing that God was doing it. What happened was, God moved on the situations. Nothing's too hard. Nothing's too big that God can't do. All things is possible for them that believe. Believe today, would you? Forget about all the things that the enemy's telling you, people's telling you, but take the Word of God and hear this southeastern Kentucky hillbilly preacher that will tell you right now, no matter what's coming at you. Yeah, I know you got to crucify the flesh. I know the flesh wants to rise up sometimes, get aggravated, discouraged, but we can't let that happen anymore. God is calling forth a people that will take Him at His word, that will speak the word no matter what's going on around, and not lose the joy. Because if we lose the joy, we lose our strength, and then what happens? We fall away to nothing. Today's the day. Man of God, woman of God, boy and girl, let's rise as the church